make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Hello, and welcome to Let's Sip and Talk with Freema on this lovely Sunday afternoon. I hope everyone's having a grand old day. You know, our little county fair is out, so hope y'all go get some fair food, or maybe next week go get some at the State Fair. Anywho, today we have on a guest, Mr. Rick. He actually is, speaking to us today about creating, or maybe it's already in existence, but making it more of a MLB team, baseball in Charlotte, the best. So without further ado, let's bring on Rick. Hello, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on your program.
Thank you for coming on. I do appreciate it. So, Rick, if you don't mind, give us a little insight. Tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I was born and raised in Los Angeles. Lived there for 25 years. In 2001, I moved to Las Vegas. Lived there for 5 years. Yeah. And great place. It's a lot like Charlotte. It's growing like crazy, but kind of needed a change.
Right.
I had a cousin that lived in North Carolina. I always wanted to live in the South or the East Coast. Just checked into it. Knew nothing about Charlotte. Nothing
Mm-hmm.
about it at all. And moved here. Been here for 13 years.
Oh,
I
wow.
love Charlotte, and as much as I love it out here and live here, I always wondered, why doesn't North Carolina or Charlotte ever had a Major League Baseball team? They've never had one, period. And so I just came up with this idea, this proposal, this vision to bring a Major League Baseball team to Charlotte.
Okay, so I'm gonna just back it up a little bit because I like to ask, not so much personal questions,
Sure.
but was North Carolina a little slow for you when you first arrived? Compared to Los Angeles, Las Vegas, North Carolina, did that make you kind of like, I don't know if I like it, but being here 13 years, I guess so, huh?
It was different because every time I walked down the street, people were honking at me and waving at me, and I'm like, "Who are they? I
Who are
don't know
they
these
speaking
people."
to? What are they?
Yeah, I'd be at the grocery store and they'd be smiling and saying hi to me and all this stuff, and people like knocking on my door and saying, "Hey, we brought you some food," and I'm just like, "Who are these people? I don't know who
Yeah,
they are." Because in
it's
LA,
very different.
you do that. If I knock on someone's door in LA with food, they'll you know turn the hose on me or something. I mean, we don't we're nice in Los Angeles. Don't get me wrong, but it ain't that nice. So
Yeah.
it was really nice to have that southern hospitality feel to it.
Right. Yep. Riding by, people waving, and stuff like that. Somebody's cutting their grass, you're waving.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we do here in the South. So I just wanted to ask you that, was that a big difference for you? So with the Major League Baseball team that Charlotte does not have, what actually inspired you to even go down that road in the beginning? Not just because they didn't have one, but what drew you to that?
Well, I've lived here for 13 years. I first moved here. I love the city. It had everything. And we have the Panthers. We have the Hornets. Well, at the time they were called the Bobcats. They didn't do very well. I remember when the Hartford Whalers moved to Raleigh. I was still in
Mhm.
high school when that happened. And so I always wondered, why hasn't North Carolina ever had Major League Baseball? I can see Las Vegas not having a team at that time because of all the gambling, and
Mhm.
now they got it. I mean, look what's happening to Las Vegas. They got hockey and everything else, and I wonder, why hasn't North Carolina ever had Major League Baseball? And so for 2 years, I did a study on it. I did research on it about the growth, the population,
Right.
the income. I compared it to other cities, like a Pittsburgh or a Tampa Bay, whatever, that had Major League Baseball.
I don't know what happened. think he froze, so he'll probably come back on shortly. But yeah, he
Oh, and
wants
I
to go
said, man,
ahead.
Charles got
Oh, you're back. Okay. So it kind of messed up a little bit.
okay.
Okay, so we have you back. So you say you did a study for 2 years.
Right. I looked into it and just thought, why hasn't Charlotte had Major League Baseball? And the city that we were compared to a lot was Pittsburgh, the same population growth, people. And I said, well, Pittsburgh got the Pirates, they got Steelers, and it's like we got everything else, and we're getting Major League Soccer next year. So
Okay.
why don't we ever have Major League Baseball? And
Right.
so we just did this. I just said, let's just do this. And I created a page called Let's Bring MLB to Charlotte on Facebook. Came up with a name. I said, we need to get some uniforms, a name, a logo, just go all out, show
Just do it.
people. And if people think it's stupid, who cares? I just want my vision and my ideas to get Charlotte a Major League Baseball team to get
Right.
that attention.
Okay. Okay. So how has it been going so far? What are some of the tactics you've been taking to try to get this up and running?
Well, social media has been our friend a lot. You know, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, making connections. Part of a group called Charlotte Business Group, where entrepreneurs get together. And when I tell them what I'm doing, they're like, "Wow, that's
Yeah,
great."
that's
We create
major.
we created a website called www.charlottebats.com. We're going to come out with an online store, and we just post every day on social media. We post stories about Charlotte, about how fast it's growing, how other cities have Major League Baseball that are much smaller than Charlotte. Show them, like, the new story about the Tampa Bay Rays and Montreal Expos splitting their season. And I said that once Tampa and Oakland get established, the commissioner will expand. And so the great news was that in 2015 he came out with his list
Hmm.
of cities for expansion, and Charlotte was on the list. So we were really, really happy and realized, wow, we're not crazy after all. No, we're not the only one that feels this way.
Right. I think it's awesome. I think it's amazing. A lot of people may feel like it's like wowing, which is good because someone has to do it, and
Exactly.
you're that guy that's actually going out there and you're going to make it happen. How would you go about, and I don't know if this is a crazy question, but the players, like the baseball players, like how do you go about
Baseball players? Uh-oh. I lost sound. Hello? I can't hear you. Well, hopefully we'll get a draft. When they have when they have expansion teams, they usually have a draft. Um, can you hear me? Hello? I can't hear you.
Go ahead, Rick. Take it easy. Take it over. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. So explain what you were explaining. When she come back, we'll bring her back in.
Okay. So when we look at players, they do an expansion draft. The last time they expanded was with the Arizona Diamondbacks and Tampa Bay Rays. And so
Uh-huh.
what they do is the players or the teams leave players unrestricted, and they enter them in the draft. And they actually have like sort of like an NFL draft, and
Oh,
each team like drafts players, like this guy will get this guy will get that. They leave them unprotected and say, okay, we're not going to use them, they can go to the draft. And so the teams, because it's always two teams, they'll always expand by two. So right now there's 30 teams in Major League Baseball.
hmm.
uh, with Charlotte, hopefully, I'm confident it'll be Charlotte. I think it's going to be Charlotte and Nashville, in my opinion, that will get Major League Baseball. And they'll have a draft, and they'll say, okay, this players will go to Charlotte, or these players will go to
Uh,
Nashville. We're leaving them unprotected on our team, and you guys can have them. And that's pretty much how they do it. And then a lot of scouting. They do a lot of scouting there. Usually the team with the worst record usually gets the number one pick, and it takes a while for an expansion team to get competitive, usually about 6 years. So they usually get like really high good picks. So you just have to do a lot of scouting, great drafting, and just find those hidden jewels out there.
So what would be the age? Is there like a certain age range that you guys would be focusing on, for the draft of for your players? Is there a certain age range
No,
that's no?
no, not necessarily. We look at people who are, who are very well established, who have experience. Like, someone maybe like, it could be someone who never got a chance, because their team has a great player in that position. He's stuck in the minors. They're
Mm,
like, we don't really need him. You guys can have him. Sometimes trades work out.
okay.
Um, and so, there's been a lot of players that never were a good fit somewhere else. They go somewhere else and become like big stars. So that happens sometimes. You have players in there that have been in the minors for like 10, 15 years that never had an opportunity. And then they get that call up. And so it just depends.
Okay. Okay. Well, that sounds like some great stuff, and it sounds like it can be very. I don't want to say tedious, but it seems like it's a lot behind it. Like, how do your everyday life and this, or all your, is this all you? You see what I'm saying? Is this, how do you balance just everyday life and focusing on creating?
It's hard, I mean, I just pretty much what I do is just try to balance my personal life with what I'm doing. This is my passion. I wake up every day, I think about it. Um,
I
I
keep
just,
having. I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Go ahead, Rick. Take it till she come back.
Yeah.
So
I
you
can.
say this is your passion?
Yeah, this is my passion. I wake up with it every single day. And I always want to see a Major League Baseball team here. I just think about ways where I can reach out to people. That's why we're coming out with this online store, and hopefully we get sell some merchandise, get some T-shirts,
Mhm.
jerseys, hats. We want to license it, maybe get like Charlotte Bats magnets or pens, whatever. Just like every other team wants to brand themselves. So it's just I had that passion of wanting to do it, and I'm so spoiled because I lived in Los Angeles and we had two of everything. And I come out here and it's kind of like we don't have a Major League Baseball team, and so it's kind of like, well, I got a choice: either I want to do something about it or I just wait. And I'm not going to wait. I'm just going to do something
You're
about it.
just gonna do it.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. So yeah, and do you have a set goal? Like, do you have a target time that you want this to, like actually start? If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. When people always ask me, Charlotte's on this list. When are they going to expand? And I said, that's a great question. I got to tell the commissioner. But he always says that once Tampa Bay and Oakland get new stadiums, that they will expand, and they'll expand by two. And I'm confident it's going to be Charlotte and Nashville that are going to go. And the great news about it is that Oakland, who have been having looking for a stadium for the next 20 years, the president of the A's has got fed up, and most likely the Oakland A's are going to move to Las Vegas. And then with Tampa, Montreal, they want another team in Canada. They've been wanting to get Montreal back, the Expos, and so the Expos and the Tampa Bay Rays came up with this proposal where Tampa Bay will split their season in Montreal. So they'll play
Mhm.
some games in Montreal, some games in Tampa Bay.
Okay.
So hopefully, with those things situated, and I think Tampa's still looking to get a new stadium. I think they're doing that because so they can put pressure in St. Petersburg, where they actually play, to get them a new stadium. They're like, hey, if you don't get us a new stadium, we're going to split some games and most likely move to Montreal. So you better get your act together. So I think that's the reason why they're doing it. But I feel confident that once those get established and Oakland is in Las Vegas, and we'll see what happens with Tampa Bay, they'll expand. So I see maybe in the next 3-5 years the most.
Okay, okay. Well, that's good that you already have an idea of when, this is going to actually take place. You're giving it your all. I'm pretty sure you have great support. What was the website again, that, individuals can go on, to kind of help? Is there something that we can do? Like you said, you mentioned social media. What are some things that we could do to try to help?
Well, our website is www.charlottebats.com. We have a petition on there where you can go on there and sign it.
Okay.
You can leave comments. I have my media outlets on there. We're on Twitter at Charlotte Bats Baseball. I'm on Facebook at Charlotte MLB and Charlotte Bats. LinkedIn under Rick Curti, Curti.
Okay.
I'm on Instagram at Charlotte Bats. We're pretty much on every social media network, and I'm on there every day. I post every day, and we just every single day we're always putting some information about Charlotte. And what's fascinating is that every time I post stuff, people tell me, "I had no idea. I had no idea that Cal Ripken Jr. played in Charlotte, or Harmon Killebrew, or Eddie Murray. I had no idea that the real Archibald Moonlight Graham from Field of Dreams actually is from North Carolina." There's so much history of professional baseball in Charlotte that a lot of people don't know about. They just kind of stereotype us with college basketball, with Duke. And I'm like, no, Charlotte, North Carolina is a great state for professional sports. We got the Hornets, we got the Hurricanes, we got the Panthers. They've been to 2 Super Bowls. The Hurricanes won the Stanley Cup in 2006. Michael Jordan is, doing his thing in Charlotte. We're getting a brand new soccer team. And so, I mean, it's really, the 13 years I've been here, it has really grown a lot in professional sports.
Good. So it's only right we have a Major League Baseball. We have everything else.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we could support it, and we would love to have a rivalry with Atlanta. Call it the I-85 series, something like that. Like Battle of the South.
Right.
That'd be kind of fun. Yeah, Battle of the South, Charlotte, Atlanta. And it would be fun. It would be a lot of fun. And I mean, we could support it easily because we're 2 states in one. Atlanta's like 4.5 hours away. Washington, D.C. is 10 hours away. There's no Major League Baseball in Tennessee. There's no Major League Baseball in Virginia. There's no Major League Baseball in South Carolina. So we have that big gap and that big market right there. And to me, North Carolina is a gold mine for MLB. It'll bring billions of dollars to our state. It'll bring attention, and people will be happy and they'll love it.
You just thought of a whole gold mine. This is amazing. So when I seen, I was like, wow, just for someone to actually sit there and think about, and like you said, you studied it for 2 years. So this is your heart and soul. So this is good. I'm gonna support whatever way I can. I'll go on and sign a petition. I'll definitely share it on my page, on my social media outlets. Rick, is there anything else that we didn't speak about that you just want to put out in the universe that you want to share with us today?
I just want to thank everybody out there. We've heard from so many people. I've heard from people from Australia. I heard someone from Kenya. Actually, our biggest fan is in Belgium, and she emailed me on Instagram. I had no idea who she was. She said, "Hey, can I get one of your shirts?" And I'm thinking, someone from Belgium wants a Charlotte Bats shirt? Like, why does she care? And she goes, "Well, my name is actually Charlotte Bats, and I love your shirt because it has my name on it. Can I have one?" And I thought, okay, and I sent her one. And so if you go on our website, there's a picture of a girl with a shirt on. That's Miss Charlotte Bats from Belgium. So she's like our biggest international fan and supporter. So even in Belgium, they want to see a Major League Baseball team in Charlotte.
I love it. I cannot wait for it to happen. Just to say I actually had Rick on. We talked about it. It may have took a year or two. I don't see it taking 3 to 5, Rick. I think it's going to happen, sooner than expected because you thought this thing through. And like you said, there's a big gap, with all the other states. So this will bring in money, revenue, everything to Charlotte.
We need more teams in the South. We got so many on the West Coast. We have so many in the Midwest. And pretty much Atlanta's like the only true Southern team that they have in Major League Baseball. I mean, Florida, Texas, they don't even consider themselves the South. So, but technically they are. But if you could put a team in Atlanta, you have 2 teams in Texas, 2 teams in Florida, and you put a team in Nashville and Charlotte, you created a whole Southern division.
Yeah,
and that would be fun. That would be fun for people out here because people out here feel like Major League Baseball kind of ignores them. Like, why don't we have any teams in the South? And Charlotte has been rumored for even before I moved here about getting Major League Baseball. So I just decided, well, let's just push that envelope and get it going.
Yeah, get it going, and it's going to happen. I can feel it. It's going to happen. I thank you so much, Rick. I know you have a lot to do. You know, it's Sunday. I don't know if it's your relaxed day or you're always, you know, business, business, business when it comes to Charlotte Bat. So I don't want to hold you up too long, but I do appreciate you just for coming on, sharing your vision with us, you know, putting it out there so, you know, we can get more people involved, get more people to sign the petition on your website. And before we end, just one more time, what is the website and ways people can sign a petition and ways that we can help?
You can go on our website at www.charlottebats.com. Go on there, sign the petition, and very soon we're going to come out with an online store. We already have the uniforms. The uniforms are the colors of the city of Charlotte. The name Bats actually has connections with North Carolina. Bats are very common in North Carolina. There was a minor league baseball team called the Greensboro Bats, who are now called the Grasshoppers. And the colors we chose are the colors of our university of UNCC Charlotte, home of the Charlotte 49ers.
Okay, awesome, awesome. And Rick, just something I do ask the individuals that share their journey with us, for the little Ricks out there who feel like their vision may be, you
Yeah,
know, somebody might feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm thinking too much outside the box, or
no.
maybe I'm trying to do something that I don't think I can achieve. But we all know no dream is too big. You have to go out there and get it. You have to step out there on faith and try, because you'll always think about what if I did it? What if? So just do it. So what advice would you give the ones that's a little nervous about jumping out there on something that they may feel is a little, you know, far out there, but it's not?
I would just tell them, just go with it, do it. You know, it's terrifying to get to step out of your bubble. You know, me, I'm just a normal guy. I barely graduated out of high school. You know, I always have the vision for sports and art and everything. And when I came up with this idea, I said it's so powerful that it would be a shame for me to not share it with other people. And, you know, it came to me in a dream. I think God came into my life and really, really inspired me to do this. He took that fear away from me. He took that hesitancy away. And all of a sudden, here I am doing shows, and I'm just like, what am I doing on here? Like, I was like, what am I going to talk about? Like, just tell them your story, tell them what you've been doing. And
Yeah.
sometimes I rattle and rattle, but I get so excited what I'm doing. And it's just been great that other people, not only in North Carolina, but in other states and other cities and other countries, that reach out to me and say, we want to hear from you. We love this because we think North Carolina is a great spot for a Major League Baseball team.
Definitely. I agree 100%. It's definitely powerful, and it's definitely going to come into play. So continue to be you, continue to be great, continue to put things out there. You know, like they say, promote yourself like crazy, promote Charlotte Bats like crazy. Feel free to tag me. You know, I'm willing to help whatever way I can, Rick. So again, thank you so much for taking the time out to come on Let's Sip and Talk with Freema on this Sunday and share this with us to help us feel like we're helping someone too. So I appreciate that, Rick. And as we always say on Let's Sip and Talk with Freema, peace and love.